Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where last episode we finished up our Silero lander with this small rescue craft that we apparently never named. It's named New, and that is, not amazing, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's hop into the tech tree here, and what we needed to do is unlock more missions. So let's see here. Apparently hitting escape does not take you back there, it takes you back. Okay, neat. So that's fine. So where was it that we needed to go in order to unlock additional mission types? I know it was somewhere. New contracts here, under Engineering Masterpiece. Okay, so that is probably somewhere we can't quite get to yet. Yeah, that's the case. Let's go through all of the rest of these and just see if any of them give us new contracts. I kind of doubt it at this point. I think we've pretty much gotten all of those, but I just want to find out here. Okay, nothing there. Anything up this direction? Not so far. Okay, so nothing there. And then checking out in this category here, is it only the one area that unlocks new contracts? I think it is. I think it's just Engineering Masterpiece at this point. So that looks good. That means that we have to take Modern Engineer, which is fine. We can actually get access to electric engines. Interesting. That gives us access to the Pixie engine. Useful for second stages and landing on small planetary bodies. We need that sort of engine there. A second stage engine rather than a spacecraft engine is going to be very useful for us. So let's grab that for sure. And then we have to take Finesse to continue to move along. That gives us access to the Titan engine, powerful and efficient engine that uses hydrolox and staged combustion. Okay, so that's expensive. Okay, so that gives us hydrolox instead of Carolox. Cool. So we'll unlock that, but then we need to have a few more tech points to get access to this, which is going to be absolutely fine. We need a grand total of 63? I think 63 tech points to get that. Okay, so that's fine. Let's check in our career here. I don't think that any of these are going to get us tech points, and tech points are what we need right now. So we'll pass on all of that. This is a progression mission. Okay. This is one of those driving with a box missions. Sure. I don't know why that's a progression mission, but we can get that done. It's not going to get us tech points, but as a progression mission, it's something we should definitely prioritize. So we would want to get this off-road car, like this. And then there is this box here that I'm going to get rid of. And then we need to put in a new box, a small light box back here. And we know that this is going to immediately fall off. It doesn't attach to anything, if I recall correctly. Let's just double check that. So this would need to be at the Juno Village runway. Okay. One or more issues. There's too much torque in the wheels. Okay, sure. So that seems fine. We can definitely bring that down a bit. Is that too much torque still? No. Okay. So let's just put this out on the runway here. And the question is that box attached? I don't think it is. Yeah, you can see the box immediately falls off. So that is fine. We dealt with this previously. That's 10 kilometers away. Okay. So we're going to actually keep this where it's at. And we're going to then put in a small fairing here. So that is going to be a fairing base. That is way too large. Let's bring that back a little bit. And then we're going to go with a regular fairing. Way too long. And then we're going to do a fairing nose cone. Way too long again. Just something kind of like that. Even that is probably bigger than it needs to be. So we can dial this back to be somewhere around here or so. That should be more than enough. Even then, I feel like we can still bring this down somewhat. To about there. Like that. Okay, that should contain our box. And now the question is, what's our staging look like? Okay, yeah, that's just the single stage. Okay, so let's put this out on the village runway. I think we should be able to get to the research station at this point. And the box just fell through the fairing. Okay. I have questions, but I guess that's something that happened. Sure? Maybe we need to make the fairing slightly larger? Perhaps. Let's see if that does the trick. Nope, the box is falling through the fairing. Okay, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, why is that happening? Certainly an interesting question. I'm going to move our solar panel up to about here. And then I'm going to enlarge this fairing a fair amount. So we're going to do something kind of like this. And hope that that solves the problem. Yep, that solved it. Okay, cool. So now, of course, our main problem is that these wheels don't appear to be assigned to pitch. Okay, let's pull this back. And let's assign the wheels to pitch here. So that is going to be... RPM input is set to throttle right now. Yeah, let's set that to pitch. Cool. I do not want that to be on throttle, exactly. Oh, okay, it's inverted. I mean, I guess I can deal with that. So, 10 kilometers out this way, huh? Okay, we've got shock problems. Let's pull this back. Let's get rid of the shocks. They are way too powerful. And while we're in here, we might as well invert the RPM here. There we go. So now we need to go into here. So our suspension strength is going to be... We're actually just going to fully disable suspension. It's way too bouncy if we don't do that. Okay, so now we should no longer be inverted on the wheels, correct, and we should no longer have any bouncy suspension. We're definitely a little bit spicy on the turns. This thing turns very sharply, and I'm just... Ooh, hang on, no, don't do that. Just turn off the visibility on that. There we go. That's not very useful for cars, after all. So this is going to be a little bit of a trek out over here. No doubt about that. And this car is a little floaty. But it should be reasonably fine. Actually, it's kind of a lot floaty. Sure. Well, let's just make our way up over here. In theory, we should have enough torque to go basically anywhere we want to. In theory. Ooh, that was exciting. We're definitely slipping a bit here. Okay. Very spicy. We do not have quite as much grip as I would like going up this, but it's okay. Yeah, there's definitely a pretty good bounce to this, even without the suspension. It very much likes to do that sort of thing. But as long as we don't flip, it's fine. I have no idea what physics would possibly be driving this behavior. Ooh. Really? Really? Wow. Okay. That's exciting. This is some wild behavior. Okay, do we actually need to have a pilot in this? Hang on, let's check. No, we don't. Okay, so let's pull this back then. And we don't need to have a pilot along with this. There's no reason to bring a pilot, which means it doesn't actually matter if we flip or not. Beautiful. So that looks fine. We do not get bonus tech points if this is crewed. In fact, we don't get tech points at all for this. So at this point, it does not matter if this flips. Flipping just means our controls will be inverted, which is not the end of the world. Boy, that's bouncy. Okay. Very, very bouncy indeed. Let's just make our way on over, though. And without a pilot, that'll make things a lot easier. We do have a camera on here still, but that's fine. And this thing is only 10 kilometers away, so recovery of this is no problem. I am wondering why we're doing it via car like this. It seems like it would be easier to do it via helicopter. Although, then we'd have to build a helicopter, and I have never done that, and that would be probably very exciting. I wonder if the parts exist to do that in this game. Probably. I would think that the parts to do that would exist. But I have very little experience in flying helicopters and less experience in building them. So, this is probably the quickest way to do it. But in reality, if I had, you know, the $8 billion that we have right now, I'd buy a helicopter. That would be the way to handle this particular mission. And then we'd just have a helicopter on hand for things like this. Like, it wouldn't be used just for this one mission. Okay, this is quite a jump. Noted. So we're going to be going downhill quite a bit here. That means that we are, of course, wanting to lay on the brakes a bit, which is exactly what I'm doing. What is this? Why is it behaving like that? What is with those wheels? I have no idea what's going on right now in the physics. However, we landed upside right. So, sure? We didn't blow anything up. That was really strange. Okay. Well, let's proceed. We're down in this valley, which is pretty much exactly where we want to be, it looks like, based on the position of the research station. So we don't need to climb the mountain anymore. This should be absolutely fine. At least in theory. Yeah, those wheels are jiggling very strangely when we leave the ground. I wonder if that has to do with something with the suspension, or lack thereof. They didn't jiggle that strangely that time. Huh. I don't know. Well, let's just make our way on down here. Is our nose cone sticking out in front of our wheels? Maybe a little bit. That could theoretically be a bad thing if we came in nose first. Any other orientation, and I think the wheels would probably impact before anything else would, which would be exactly what we'd want. Okay, so it looks like we are going to have a little bit of uphill here. That's fine. It's no big deal for this vehicle. And we're at 85% battery, so battery is not an issue, especially considering we've got that solar panel here. Although if we flipped upside down, the solar panel would not be very useful. But right now, it is, in fact, generating some amount of power, but we are net negative. Yeah, look at those wheels jiggle. Okay, very strange. I don't know, the ground physics in this game has always been really weird. KSP ground physics aren't perfect, but I think they're better than in this game. Not that you do all that much on the ground in KSP. Although KSP 2, on the other hand, that has that wheels clipping through the terrain problem, and you just get stuck in the terrain. But that's a KSP 2 thing. We don't talk about KSP 2. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so now we're upside down. That's fine. That means that we're not going to be getting recharge unless we flip right side up again, but our controls are inverted at this time. And if we flipped right side up again, that's absolutely fine. We do not mind that in the slightest. Let's just continue to progress on towards the research station here. And you can see that our battery charge is definitely going down. Do we have any power flow here? No, we don't. Okay. Noted. So we would very much like to flip this thing back around, but not like that. We'd like to flip it back upside right. But we should have plenty of power to get there. In reality, we might want to duplicate this panel so that it's facing both directions so that this isn't a problem. We could definitely do that. So we've got 75% battery remaining, and we're about 5 kilometers from the research station at this point. We're about halfway there. Excellent. And let's just make our way up here. Right, controls are inverted. Okay. Sure, I guess we can go in reverse. Why not? This is fine. Controls are actually no longer inverted if we're reversing, so... However, it does steer very strangely because we're now rear wheel steering. Okay. Making good progress here, though. I don't think we want to get down necessarily into that ravine, although it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, would it? No, it wouldn't. Okay. This is not the direction I want to be heading right now, but like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, apparently we are going this way now. Cool. With this vehicle, you just kind of got to go with the flow. It works kind of like the Mako in the first Mass Effect game, is the way that this handling feels. You go where you're gonna go, and that where you're going to go needs to become the new where you want to go. It's amazing. I love it. Okay, so what is our orientation here? Sure. We're going this way. Excellent. So we're now about 3 kilometers away from this research station. And a big part of the problem with this is how floaty the gravity is. Okay. And another big part of it is how jagged the terrain is, because it's a little too low resolution of a mesh to really be super effective at this, because of these like sharp angle differences. Okay, this way is absolutely fine. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. Excellent. So at this point, we have about 3 kilometers to go, and we're making good time here. Cruising right along. I would like to see this thing get flipped back over so that we have some charge coming in again, but as of right now, we've got plenty to get there. And if we happen to flip back over, that would just make that much safer. But we're going to get there as is. Man, this thing jiggles around so much as it flies through the air. It's so weird. Okay, let's head off over this direction. Thank you very much. Ooh, are we flipping? Nope. We settled in on the wrong side again. That's unfortunate. I was hopeful there for a second. Okay, so we're about 2 kilometers away now, and I think it's on the other side of this nonsense here. So to that end, I kind of want to go up over here and maintain our altitude. So we'll just go up right about here. That was mildly more exciting than I had hoped, but yeah. Now we're going to go around this way, so we don't have to go up over here and then deal with whatever nonsense is over here. We can just go right at the research station from up top. That's the idea anyway. I have no idea what we'll see up there, but it should be interesting. So we're about 1.4 kilometers away right now, and let's... Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring this to a halt. Oh, hey. We're getting electrical charge. Sure, that seems fine. Okay, so we're in chase view right now, which is not exactly the view that I want. Planet aligned. Here we go. This is the view that I want. Okay, so we're just bouncing our way down right now with our wheels jiggling away for some reason. And we're about 1 kilometer away from the research station now. There it is. We can now see it. Excellent. Okay. So let's head down this direction. We're just kind of switchbacking our way down this for now. But it looks like we're going to have a pretty sharp drop-off here, which could potentially get spicy. But I mean, we had an impact of 55 meters per second previously, and it was fine. So I'm not concerned about this at all. Excellent. We're going to need... That was interesting. We're going to need to no longer brake. I was going to say we need to brake, and then we had that physics bug. No problem, though. Okay, let's slow this on down. Beautiful. Okay, so we are within the area right now, and we need to get the small light box grounded. And there we go. Mission complete. So we'll end that, and we'll recover the craft. 3.33 million. Wonderful. And yeah, we spent a little bit on it, but it's fine. So now we can go through here and see we've got an explosives delivery. Okay, so this is crates to the alley outpost and leaving them near the hangar. So this is another one of these delivery type missions. I mean, we can do this with this same vehicle, probably. I just don't know how far away it's going to be. So let's hop into the build here. And I want to do a couple things. One, I'm going to grab this guy, and we're going to put it into radial symmetry. So now we have a solar panel on both sides. So we will not have an issue with losing power if we flip. Then we can detach this, and we can get rid of this guy. And then there's these explosives parts, right? I'm wondering if dropping them is going to be a problem. It's a fragile crate full of very sensitive explosives. And it's pretty big, to be honest. That is quite large. Okay, for the time being, I want to just put this out on the alley pad. We're going to revert this, but I want to see if it blows up upon impacting the ground. It does not. Okay, so this is the alley pad right now. We probably want to be on the alley runway, but we know that we need 3 fragile crates. Okay. So we're probably going to have to change how we are doing this. These crates are pretty large. We could expand out the size of our fairing to be like this big, right? And then this guy would come out here. We would move this out, and then we would duplicate the crates here. So we now have 2 crates, and then this would be, if I can attach it correctly, a 3rd crate, like that. And then we would bring this guy probably out a little further than this. So we would need to bring it out to about here, and then this guy would be expanded somewhat to be something kind of like that, in theory. Then our main problem is simply that we need to put in a little bit of a spacer here. So to that end, we would do a strut here in theory. I want you to attach right here, please. There you go. And we would make that strut be quite a lot smaller. Attaching it like that. The strut is still too big. Okay, so let's make that a whole lot smaller. Attaching that about there. And now we're going to have an issue if this fairing impacts something, but in theory, something along those lines. Okay, let's see what happens if we put this on one of the alley runways. Where are we? Okay, that's about 7 kilometers away. Noted. So the next test... Oh. Well, that's awkward. 2 of these fell through, and apparently not the other one. Okay, so they blew up because they're, you know, too delicate for that. So we need to figure out why they fell through. It's probably that we just need to enlarge this fairing a little bit more. So I'm going to set this to 0.7 meters and 0.7 meters, like that. We'll see if that works. Okay, they did not fall through now. The question is, are they going to blow up as we accelerate and move them around, right? So let's get ourselves a bump going here. They didn't blow up from that. So that's a good sign. Now the next question is, oh, we need a 4th fragile crate? Okay, that's noted. But now I want to see if we drop this, are they going to explode? They didn't. Okay, so we do need a 4th fragile crate. That's fine. We can definitely do that. So I'm going to put this guy here. That means that we can extend this out to be about here and do it something like that. Let's see if this explodes out on the pad. Or the runway, I guess, or if it falls through. It did not fall through. Okay, so now we just need to deliver this. Beautiful. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to run this delivery. That will be absolutely fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.